Good morning, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Money Chat Now is a politically charged stock market pre-show giving you the politics behind the biggest moves in the stock market. It's presented with comedic common sense by an expert in financial literacy. Hey, that's me, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, today is Thursday, December 9th. Welcome to the show. We are here live on WWDB Radio in Philadelphia, and we are live on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube. Hey, just a reminder, if you're watching online, hit that like button, hit that share button, share it with your friends, let everybody know how much fun they're going to have watching the show. And of course, leave me comments during the show on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. Just even if you want to just say hi, That'd be great. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. Money Chat Now is brought to you by Investor Schooling, and of course you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to investorschooling.com. There you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. Actually, you could come tonight if you want. So go to investorschooling.com and you could come tonight to tonight's class. All right, on today's show we're going to be discussing the futures update. We're going to be discussing my favorite president, Biden, and Russia. We're going to be talking about Pfizer booster, loan defaults. We're going to be talking about China stocks. The resignations are slowing down. And of course, angry Coinbase users and sports betting. Hey, I want to say hello to Tommy and Mick online. Thanks so much for tuning in. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on. And look, as I predicted, the market is starting to fizzle a little bit as investors pretty much just take a pause from a great week. On yesterday's show, I mentioned that I thought the market was not going to hold up. And, it held up a little bit more than I thought yesterday, but it's kind of typical. What kind of happens is after a big run, the market kind of slow down. Basically people start taking profits, and, it's just basically what happens. But right now, the futures are kind of holding right around negative 84 for the Dow. The S&P is down 12 points, and the NASDAQ is down 53 points. And I got to tell you, after the great run we had this week, I don't have a big problem with that. I think it's going to be fine. It's even possible if it stays in this range, not much is going to happen. But again, it's just the fact that people are, they're just taking a break. All right, let's talk a little bit about Biden and Russia. All right. So stumbling President Poopy Pants is clearly no match for Vladimir Putin. And of course, his latest interaction is more proof of President Poopy Pants' ineptness. All right, here's what's going on. Russia wants to block the Ukraine from entering into the North Atlantic Treaty Organization known as NATO. So you guys, if you ever wanted to know what NATO stood for, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. All right, NATO is the world's most powerful military alliance, and Russia wants to invade the Ukraine. And if Ukraine is in NATO, then all the countries of NATO can come to the defense of the Ukraine. Makes sense, right? So Russia's saying, how dare you let them in? We don't want you to defend them. All right, right now, without Ukraine and NATO, the only thing that the U.S. and the allies of NATO can do is kind of do, economic and political countermeasures, sanctions. Or in better terms, a really, really light tap on the wrist, don't ever do that again, is what all they can do. So according to sources, and by the way, I don't know who they are, but sources, Putin told Biden that Ukraine's bid to join NATO must be denied. Check this out. Putin told Biden, boy, that's a definite tongue twister. Putin told Biden that Ukraine's bid to join NATO must be denied in return for assurances that Russian troops would not carry out an attack on the Ukraine. So basically, Putin is threatening an attack on Ukraine because they're unprotected, but he's blackmailing Biden with the threat of an attack if they move to protect Ukraine. That makes totally no sense. But it's interesting, right? It certainly makes my head spin. By the way, in 2014, I don't know if you guys remember, but Russia invaded Crimea, and Obama said to Russia, you guys are a bad boy, don't do that again. And nothing really happened to Putin or Russia. Of course, we know who was vice president at that time. Think about it. So we know it will be the same thing again if Russia invades Ukraine. Look, just to clarify, Russia believes Ukraine is part of Russia, and Ukraine believes they're a sovereign nation. That's the real issue. Of course, there's also a lot of oil reserves in the Ukraine, and with our brain-dead president, Russia wants to control that oil to profit from the U.S. from the dumb idea of shutting down the pipelines and the refineries. I wonder if Biden knew we would be on the brink of war when he shut down the pipelines. I don't know, maybe in fact he did. That could explain why he left all the war machines in Afghanistan. Look, I don't know, this guy crazy. He may be very well, he may just want a really large-scale war to manage as a president and show the world how great of a wartime president he can be. All right, I guess I'm stretching it a little bit, but you get the idea, right? But he certainly can't show the world that he's any kind of leader so far. My concerns about an invasion or the threat of an invasion from Russia into Ukraine, of course, it'll cause a fast drop in the stock market. In fact, I'm predicting these tensions to create a drop shortly. Now listen to this. It'll probably be in the new year. Now, this is my logic on this. No one wants war during Christmas, so it'll wait till about the end of January or February. Watch it, and remember you heard it here first. Write this prediction down, and watch it, and write, and you'll see. All right. I also want to say hello to Joe online. Thanks so much. Vincenzo, Jose, thanks so much. I appreciate you guys watching. Let's talk about the Pfizer booster. Hey, as the COVID scamdemic continues, we now have a new word in our vocabulary called Omicron. Did you guys ever hear this word before 2 weeks ago? Nah. 2 weeks ago, the Omicron variant made its way into the news and crashed the stock market temporarily. Of course, we had the headline saying, "Run for the hills, oh no!" And of course, as Monty Python used to say, "Bring out your dead, bring out your dead." You guys, if you saw that movie, you know what I'm talking about. Of course, as you read every article, they all stated that everyone with the variant was vaccinated and was having mild symptoms. Yeah, they had a cold. Damn. All right, the bull dice continued, and the general public, at least the sane people, all ignored the variant reports, including most of the money managers. And that's basically, we saw the stock market do that. So yesterday, the stock market moved forward, of course, on the news from Pfizer saying, if you get a booster, you will have a high level of protection against Omicron. Yay, Pfizer! What a great way to boost your stock price. Brilliantly played. However, it didn't work. The stock hardly moved today. Actually, yesterday, it hardly moved at all, and it's not moving much today as well. So mRNA, or Moderna, also hardly moved. Look, it looks like we need a new headline, like a new variant or a new study that says you need another booster to cover just Omicron. Wait, that's coming. I guarantee you that's coming. You need this shot to cover Omicron, and everything else will cover the original COVID that's all gone already anyway. Whatever happened to don't touch your face or wash your hands? For that matter, whatever happened to 2 weeks to flatten the curve? Oh yeah, you know what? I think that was a typo. I think it should have read 2 years to fool Americans into believing Joe Biden won the presidency fair and square. Anyway, I like the news because it pumped up my travel stocks once again, and I am all in on travel stocks right now. I'm telling you, travel stocks is a place to be. Get into travel stocks right now because they're going to keep going up. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on next. Let's talk about some loan defaults. So, you know, we all know what's going on. Well, let's talk about this real quick. So Wells Fargo is seeing borrower defaults start to rise from lows reached during the scamdemic. Look, as financial conditions begin to normalize, the CEO of Wells Fargo, Charles Scharf, said on Tuesday, Scharf said that the firm is starting to see very, very small amounts of delinquency increases, describing the shift as nothing meaningful. So they wrote an entire article about this and saying that the shift is nothing meaningful. But I'm going to bring it up for a reason. But just slightly different than we would have seen last quarter. As you know, the banks decided to create a moratorium on mortgage payments for anywhere from 6 to 18 months for some people. And many people took advantage of it. You know, some of them took advantage just not to pay their mortgage because there were no qualifications for the pause in payments. All you had to do was say you didn't want to do it, you did it, right? All right. The program was to keep massive delinquencies from accruing as the COVID government overreach closed down all small businesses, but of course left the big ones open. You know what I mean, right? All right. Now the homeowners will begin to have to start paying these loans, and to a few of them it's starting to hurt. The number of foreclosure filings is increasing, but I'm telling you that I did a report on this about a month ago, and frankly, it was considerably lower than pre-COVID times, meaning that at this time there were less foreclosure filings than normal for the last few years, as charge-off and delinquency rates in U.S. banks are at decades low. So this is important. So even Vincenzo's asking, what's the play once the foreclosures begin? They're not going to begin. That's the problem. All right, this, according to data tracked by the Federal Reserve, is what's going on, is the data that proves that there's really nothing going on. So it looks to me like foreclosures aren't a problem, at least for now. I will definitely be monitoring this situation, and I'm going to be able to see if I can pick up any bargains. And of course, we'll talk about some of the other people as well in investor schooling and some of my other friends, and talking about picking up bargains. But I don't think they're going to happen as soon as you think they're going to happen. Let's talk a little bit about China stocks. So one of my biggest losses this year was a stock called Alibaba. BABA, B-A-B-A, was the symbol, and it really crushed one of my accounts as I ignored the Chinese government clamping down on the amount of profit the Chinese companies were allowed to earn and keep. China has been a socialist country for quite a while now, but President Jinping, I'm sure hoping he doesn't talk to President Braindead, anyway, is taking it to the extreme. Because of this, several Chinese stocks are on the serious downswing. Some of the brands may even be delisted. You know, we saw DiDi get delisted from the New York Stock Exchange last week, and, I'm going to expect this trend to continue. Look, here's the bottom line and a warning. I'm going to tell you, stay out of Chinese stock companies. There are so many better places for you to put your money. Just don't go there. It's a bad place. All right, let's also talk about this. Resignations are slowing. A few weeks ago, I reported that many people were leaving their jobs at record paces. They were leaving for various reasons. Of course, the stock market is all-time highs, and that could mean that they saved enough money to retire. It could also mean that there were so many opportunities out there that they quit because they're afraid, because they're basically afraid of catching a cold from their coworkers. Could be another reason, right? It could also be that some of them had enough of the mask and vaccine mandates. It's all of these things. Of course, others may have quit just because they went to investor schooling and learned how to make more money than they were making with their job. Hey, right? Well, it appears that this trend of quitting is slowing. Job quitters declined by 4.7%, falling to 4.16 million people quit their job from the past of 4.36 million. Wow, according to the Labor Department. I've been saying this for a few weeks now. If you're on the fence about taking a job, now is the time. You will not have this many choices again for decades. The job market will begin to tighten as the economy slows down, and my prediction is that the slowdown is going to start next year and bring us down for the next 7 years. All this money being fed into the economy is going to end, and if you quit your job recently, by the way, if you quit your job recently, let me know. Put it on Facebook or LinkedIn and Twitter. Let me know if you quit your job. Let me know that you quit and possibly why you quit. And listen, watch this next commercial to find out how you can quit your job. We'll see you in about a minute.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, if you'd like more information on investor schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or you can call 866-424-2829. And hey, there's a class tonight, so if you want to come to the class tonight, you can do that as well. 866-424-2829. And of course, thank you guys for listening on WWDB Radio in Philadelphia. If you're watching online, please hit the share button. And listen, help your friends learn how they can make more money by sharing this gold with them. All right, hit that like button. Let me know you enjoyed the show. And you can also leave comments on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube, and I will try to respond to them live. All right, so far we have been discussing, of course, the fact that the futures are Right now, actually, the Dow is down 99, the S&P is down 13 and a quarter, and the Nasdaq is down 61. I'm expecting it to be a slow day today. I'm not expecting much to happen. We talked about how Biden is mishandling Russia, and it's a nightmare for him, and it's going to be a nightmare for us soon. We talked about the Pfizer booster might actually cure Omicron. Wow! We talked about Wells Fargo and the loan defaults, and there really aren't many. And we talked about staying away from China stocks and the fact that resignations are slowing down. Coming up, we're going to be talking about some more good stuff. All right, let's get in the second half of the show, and we're going to start with the fact that there are a lot of angry Coinbase users. So Coinbase is the app used by millions of cryptocurrency traders around the globe. I don't know if you have it, I have it, but the app makes it easy to buy, sell, and hold the electronic currencies. As Coinbase launched this, as you know, Coinbase launched this IPO this year, and of course the stock soared and then it fell back. Well, some customers of the app are screaming foul as some glitches in the software prevented those customers from buying or selling some assets. Because they couldn't buy or sell the assets, the users feel that they lost millions of dollars. So here's something crazy that happened. So two specific currencies were affected. One was Power, P-O-W-R, and the other one was Gwyn, G-Y-E-N. Now, Gwyn, which was considered a stable coin, so I don't know if you guys know much about stable coins. Stable coins mean their basically value goes exactly with a currency, and basically the Gwyn currency, or the Gwyn, was linked to the Chinese yen. Okay, here we go. Here's the Chinese again, right? All right, so what happened was Gwyn, which links to Chinese yen, was showing an incredible increase in price as a decimal point, check this out, as a decimal point was placed 2 digits over. That's right, 2 decimal points over. That's 100 times return you thought you made, and actually some quick sellers got that money if they acted at the right time. Meanwhile, the buyers of this cryptocurrency were screwed because they paid 100 times their worth. Wow. Understandably, the users are pretty upset with this after some of the users on Coinbase invested their entire life savings of about $700 and then lost it. For you guys on some of the sites on Facebook, or some of the groups on Facebook, you know what I'm talking about. $700. All right. Anyway, when Coinbase discovered the issue, they locked up the accounts holding these assets and would not let users trade them for weeks. So several social media sites have postings of users demanding compensation. I'm sure that the Coinbase app has a user agreement that covers this for this problem, but and here's what I think they'll probably end up doing in the end. They'll probably give each user a small portion of Bitcoin as a consolation prize, but right now, Coinbase is offering nothing for this error. All right, so let's go to Coinbase stock real quick. So Coinbase is trading at about 285, and I'm waiting for it to go below 230 again to pick up some shares. At this price, at 285, I think it's too high, and I think it's even too high for a covered call play. So I would definitely not get into it. Hey, Tom, thanks so much. He's watching us. He called it a boob tube, but it's definitely on YouTube. So thanks so much for watching. We really appreciate it, Tom. All right, so let's talk a little bit about sports betting. Hey, I remember when you had to go to the local bookie to place a bet on sports. Well, the government knew better, and because they were losing millions in revenue from illegal betting, the push to legalize sports betting started. You ever notice that it's always about money? It's not about helping people? Well, right now there are 30 states with legalized sports betting. You know, of course, a flood of new customers eager for risk and excitement has made a company called DraftKings. So I don't know if you guys know about DraftKings, but it made it one of the nation's biggest sports books. So it's an online app that lets you bet. In November, the company announced their third quarter revenue increased 60% from a year earlier to $213 million. So the revenue went up to $213 million. During that same period, with mobile betting launching in several states, the company said it had an average of 1.3 million monthly unique playing customers engaged with its platform. So now it has 1.3 million customers. Hey, that's not bad, right? Of course, the concerns of gambling addiction are starting to worry legislatures, and that could cause some breaks, some put them some breaks in the industry, right? So DraftKings even warns their users to put limits on their bets to prevent an all-out financial disaster. Look, DraftKings is currently trading in the 33 range. I'm going to tell you right now, I like the price here. I really do. I think the 33 range is a good price. It's actually at looks like about a 3-month low. And the potential is high as more states allow sport betting. Look, DraftKings is just like another one of those social media apps that you're betting on, like Coinbase, like Robinhood. Just remember those beautiful casinos, right? They're not built by letting the players have the upper hand and odds to win. They're built on the backs of those who think they can win and never actually can. Look, there's no such thing as a quick get-rich scheme, but if you really want to learn how to get rich slowly and change your life, you want to watch this next commercial about investor schooling, because that's what we teach. We teach people how to make money, make it slowly, and make it real. So if you want to watch this next commercial, you can. I'm thinking that we're going to be going to that commercial any second.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from 2 Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. Investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. Hey, I want to say hello to Bill, who's also tuning in on, I believe it's Facebook. That's great, Bill. Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. And if anybody else is out there on Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube, leave a message and say hi. All right, so far we've been discussing the futures update, and right now the Dow is down 101 points. The S&P is down right around 14, and the NASDAQ is down right around 60. I'm expecting it to be a slow day. You know, not much movement. 100 points is not a big deal. I don't think it's going to be much happening today. We talked about how President Biden is mishandling the Russia-Ukraine event. We've been talking about Pfizer. We've been talking about loan defaults, China stocks being delisted, and of course, we also talked about angry Coinbase users and sports betting as well. All right, let's get into what's going to be happening soon in the next half. However, oh, by the way, Eric says hi too. So coming up is some of our picks and plays. But first, did you guys hit the like button? Did you hit the share button? All you guys watching on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, please hit that share button. Let everybody know what great stock plays are about to come up by sharing this information. You can share in your page or in groups that you feel will benefit from great stock plays. So don't just share it on your own page, share it in groups as well. You can also leave comments, and I look forward to seeing your comments. And of course, if you are listening on WWDB, hey, if you're one of the 7 listeners on WWDP, don't forget to set one of your presets to the channel and listen every day at 7:30 for all you need to know about politics behind the stock market. Are you really one of the 7? There you go. All right, cool. All right, so let's get into it. Let's talk a little bit about what's going to go on today and what's happening. All right, so right now, as we talked about, the Dow is down. You know, the pre-market's down about 105, and as I predicted, the market was going to take a breather. Look, most of the money managers took their profits on big movers in the last couple of days, and this means that the travel stocks will pull back just a little bit. But I'm telling you, stick with them. They may even be a slight buying opportunity today. If they go down anywhere around 50 cents, like AAL or CCL, if they go down around 50 cents, you might want to jump in because they're going to bounce back nicely into the new year. We'll also be watching for President Braindead to botch up the negotiations between Russia and Ukraine. And when that escalates, and it's going to escalate, the market's going to react. And I'm going to tell you, be ready for that one to escalate at the end of January. That's going to be my prediction on that. Hey, once again, I like the oil stock plays, and I've been saying all week, hey, Halliburton and Oxy all moved up this week, and they moved up nicely. I'm also waiting for news on Moderna. You know why I'm waiting for news on Moderna? Because I'll bet you their booster propaganda is going to push the stock up. And I'm just hoping that it'll fall about 50 points first, because if it falls about 50 points first, then hey, there'll be some opportunity to get in there. And that will be a quick get in and get out play. Look, J&J, I told you guys buy J&J the other day. J&J did exactly as I predicted, as it rose 5 points in the last 5 days. Look, I'm also going to tell you, if you guys are watching or even listening, write down some of my predictions and compare them to the outcome. You will be absolutely surprised at how often I pick the winners and prove that they're winners. So keep paying attention. I'm also going to say that Apple is now unstoppable. It's finally going to do what I think it's going to do. It's going to hit 200. My guess is going to hit 200 before February. Meta, which is Facebook, will also continue to rise as we get into the scary but interesting metaverse. Hey, you know, I also want to remind you guys that I have a book coming out. And I want to mention it because the book is called Money Hacks, and it has a subtitle that says, because everything you think you know about money is wrong. And if you want to pre-order this book, you can pre-order the book at barnesandnoble.com. Just do a search on Larry Steinhouse, and you can find it there, and you can pre-order the book. It's going to be a really good book. I promise you're going to learn a lot from it. It's going to talk about some great things. Crypto is also moving down as Bitcoin is, settling right around 50,000. Ethereum, same thing, hovering right around 4,400. No big deal. And, my little plays like Shiba, they're kind of steady at about 36 millionth of a cent. So I don't think there's much going on in the crypto world as well. Gold and silver are settling into a range, but I'm going to tell you, with the upcoming infrastructure bill, I think gold and silver are good plays. Treasury bonds are stable, and that's also a good sign. And I want to thank you once again for listening to WWDB, and I also want to thank you for watching on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. And don't forget to subscribe to us, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a profitable day.